And there we go. Greetings, all you happy and healthy folks. I'm so excited for our first expert today. We've been friends for quite a while. We met at the Holistic Chamber of Commerce here in Hawaii, and then we're at a retreat together. And I've just been able to experience the sound healing of the bowls that Emma Kupu Mitchell is so talented. It is her true gift from God, and she is sharing it with the world and you today. So, that being said, would you give them a little bit of background on what sound healing and sound bathing really is and why it matters?
Yeah, well, thank you, Al. Well, firstly, it's so good to see you again. Oh my gosh, thank you for this opportunity. Yeah, it's been a few months, hasn't it? But
Yeah.
yeah, and I love you and I love your work and all that you are sharing in the world. Um, Gosh, sound healing. I think more than ever, we were talking off recording that this year, particularly, has been the year where talking of energy and vibration has been so erratic and uncertain, and everybody has reacted and responded differently, right? But I'll start by saying, what is sound healing? Everything is sound, and sound is vibration. It's just an oscillation of energy or movement of atoms that is going on whether we are fully conscious of it or not. The whole universe, of cosmos, is energy vibrating. You know, there's thought that the first energy was sound, right? And so sound healing can be anything from music, organized sounds, to something that I love dearly, which is these beautiful crystalline alchemy bowls. And there are many forms, but I think we all know that just putting a piece of music on, whether that's jazz or soul or rock, shifts our own internal mood and
Yes.
emotions. And you know, I mean, I'm talking to, gosh, you and I, thoughts,
Uh-huh.
feelings,
Mhm.
words are energy. Sound is the same, it's an energetic vibration. But sound healing is using a form of vibration that allows organization or harmony within the cellular structure, and the neuro pathways, the limbic system, the nervous system responds to this sound. I mean, there's so many books, and I'm happy to book, you know, a book list. I brought a few up. I love Penny Pierce's work, and then Wayne Perry. I mean, there's a lot of great books I'm happy to share with your community, but it's been used more and more in medical research, actually. So
Finally.
when finally, I mean, it's something we know and feel, right?
Mhm.
And the opposite can be true. If you've got somebody that's either yelling, or there's a car moving by you that's playing loud, like music that's jarring, that can have a very constrictive, negative effect. So you know, there's two aspects of sound healing. Hopefully my work is positive. It's elevating,
It
and
is.
it's not really me doing the work, it's these beautiful vessels. Yeah.
Yeah, you bring their voice to life. They need you to be heard.
Well, thank you. I'm just a conduit, right? I mean, there's a lot to holding the space, and that's something actually worth mentioning, that ethically, the person or the room where the sounds are being played also interacts and influences the effect on the nervous system and the body. So if you're, and for people listening, because I will share some special sound recordings, be mindful of who's around you, where you are, what you're doing when you listen to the vibration,
Mm.
because that energy will also influence, in a positive or negative way, how you receive that sound. So I always say quiet, set yourself up. Before bed is always a good one, or in a mindful, quiet space, because then, and connect with your breath, because then your own body is in a kind of calmer, lower, slower resonance. We know that going outside in nature, Schumann waves, these slower cycles per second, that's where we want the body to be. So if you're
Yes.
racing around and you're multitasking and you're juggling, and you'll go, oh, I'm going to put on a little sound healing, it's going to vibrate and amplify whatever is going on around you. So that's really important. And I've experienced sound meditations where the person holding the bowl, whether it's Tibetan gongs or,
Hmm.
chimes,
Hmm.
and I can tell that they've maybe been rushing around. We're all human. They've had a pissy day, and then it's amplifying their energy that's moving through them. So occasionally I've had to cancel some of my work because, let's face it, this year's been a bit jarring. And if my
Yeah.
daughter's been, if there's personal stuff going on, I'm very ethical about how I am, because I'm a conduit, and anything moving through me, through the bowls, will be received in a different way. But it's the same for you, Al, too. When you're receiving it, set yourself up for the best possible, calmest, single tasking environment. Yeah.
That is such amazing advice because it makes sense that because the vibration that the bowls when they're singing, that they go everywhere, so they whatever is also out there could be attached, because I could see myself sometimes thinking like, oh, I'm going to listen to some singing bowls right now, and I'm going to read a book at the same time, or I'm going to fold the clothes while I'm listening. I'm going to multitask, so I'm going to get the benefit of this while I also do that. And now I understand that that makes zero sense. I want to, if I want what I want, which is the vibrational connection and healing, then that should be my full attention and be there 100%. So thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. I've learnt myself, and here on, Oahu, the traffic, I have people go, oh, I listened to your sound meditation in the car. And I go, oh my God. I
See,
got from like Wahiwa to like downtown Honolulu, and I'm like, oh gosh, because it takes you, believe it or not, the crystal sound, crystal energy, as we know, is a communicator. That's why they put it in computers and infrared. It kind of oscillates and sends the sound in a wave that we don't fully grasp until later. That's been my personal experience. But it changes our natural brainwave pattern from a very active into a slower theta, almost very low resonance. And we go into this kind of in between thinking and doing space. I call it no brain. My husband says I'm in my no brain a lot of the time, but it's almost meditative, and we aren't thinking. And that's where we want to be, in this very
yes,
dropped in, embodied, yet very expansive. It's you've experienced it, and
yes.
everybody's experience is different, but it takes you out of rational mind,
Mm.
which is where healing and alignment, healing really is coming into harmony or resonance, where energy is flowing rather than it being kind of stuck or distorted, that all the energy within the body is moving in a divine conscious flow. And when energy is flowing, we have greater health of physical, mental, spiritual well-being. Yeah, it's
Yes.
when we get this right.
Mm. I know.
Yeah,
I
we
agree.
do. We
When I do that transformational meditation work with my clients and we get into that same space you're talking about, where you're being divinely inspired and the ego is in the back seat for a while, a lot of people experience when they come out and we're consciously talking about it again, that they feel like they're swirling even though they're not physically moving, because the brain, those neural pathways are getting cleansed, and it's like cleaning the gutters. And yeah, it's a really cool experience.
It is, it's powerful. I mean, you totally get it, and you offering powerful healing. It's just in a slightly different way. But you know, these one thing that I really am very conscious of is using, there's many form of crystal. You know, I've got pure vanilla bowl, which is silicon, really in its formest or finest organic form. It's silicon, which a lot of our cells, crystal silicon, and quartz, a lot of our cellular
Mm,
activity in the body is that. So when we transition, if you look under a microscope, that's what they are. It's 99.9 something quartz crystal with gemstones. So we have, this is pearl and rose quartz. We've got
yeah.
beautiful, so there's nothing synthetic in them. Everything has come from the earth. And that, to me, the crystal and gemstones magnify the alchemical vibration. It's really something else. I mean, I'm really blessed to use the bowls. I mean, I gain. It's a win-win for me,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Right. That's how it is because when I meditate with my clients, I get in that space. So I get the benefit as well at the same time. And when I come out, I feel renewed, just like when you do. So you made me think of something. I've seen you have the collection that you have with your bowls, and you showed the rose quartz. And so my question is, that makes me think of love. So if somebody's needing forgiveness or something, do the bowls correspond to
Great
things?
question.
Okay.
Great question and observation. And yes, they do. So if we think about, I mean, I work a lot with oils, plant oils as well. Every color, there's color therapy that goes on, as well as crystal quality. So if you know crystal gemstones, correct, rose quartz has an affinity with the heart chakra, or the qualities of the emotions of love and compassion and nurturing, and correct. The other aspect is these bowls have been molded and compressed to a note, a musical vibration. So if we think about middle C, if you play piano, any of your community, a musical, and I grew up with piano, the middle C is kind of that doorway. This is actually a D. So I've chosen bowls that have a certain color and gemstone, but then sound octave. And it will change though. So I know that if unplayed, this has a D to D sharp. And if we think about energetic vibrations through the body, or the chakras in the Eastern Vedic system, the lower energy points of the body, so the back, the bones, the vertebrae, is lower, meaning it's a C, D, and then the higher in the body, the organs. So every cell and organ in the body vibrates in a different wavelength. So do the bowls. And so I have a higher bowl, this little vanilla bowl, plays beyond a B note. So it's actually higher than our pineal gland vibrates. So that there's science and chemistry to the oscillations, but I mindfully choose the bowls and the colors to align with the needs of those listening. Or we just do a general, full sound bath, and we work through the whole cellular body, which is beautiful. Yeah,
Yes, I believe that's what I got to experience at the retreat we did with Kimmy. Yes.
correct.
Oh, yes.
You did.
Um, you,
And then
you,
your body will just take what it needs, because people ask,
mm,
gosh, is it going to interfere? And what if my heart chakra's fully aligned? Is it going to, I don't need it? Well, the body knows what it needs, and it will just distribute it wherever. It's very clever, actually. It's amazing to me, isn't it? How,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you. I get so excited.
It just was making me think, and you just elaborated on what I was thinking. I tell people all the time, and I believe this at a cellular level, we are all literally walking, talking, breathing miracles. And the fact that our body knows what we need and does its best to give us that all the time. And then when we assist it, we elevate and we're happier and healthier.
Absolutely. And you're right. Paying attention, isn't it? It's listening. And I have to say that's been the gift for me personally in the pandemic, is when we're busy and doing, the body might be shouting, slow down, there's a
Mm,
pain in the shoulder, and we
mm,
tend to, I've ignored it. But the benefit of
mm.
slowing down is, I believe we all know what our own bodies need. We just need help,
Yeah.
like you. We need others to help us, because when we're in our own energy field, it's much harder. But we do know, the body does know, and it will give us signs. Yeah. So if you pay attention, headaches, then I have a beautiful lepidolite crystal, which lepidolite is this mauvey gemstone that actually helps with the nervous system. And I actually started this particular bowl was for ADHD children in Capilani Hospital. I used to use it in the nursery, because people that are vibrating, or children, indigo violet children, that, or even adults, it's this vibration. So this is beautiful for helping headaches. So each bowl has a specific use, but when I play them together, yeah, the people can gain, everybody can gain something from the full spectrum, actually. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is cool.
So that being said, I had asked you if you could demonstrate understanding that through the computer, it's not the same as being recorded right in a sound studio or actually live with you in person. But I know it will still, its magic will still be present. So,
Correct. I
yeah.
always say, because Zoom has chips and crystal chips in the computer, you might not hear every vibration, but your body will feel it. It's like a sponge. So if we just intend that whatever your community needs to hear right now, they will hear for the highest good. But I will share a professional recording as well, but just so you can then compare the difference, right?
Okay.
So it was cool. Shall I do a little,
That's
maybe?
fabulous. Yes, I'm just going to put my do not disturb sign on the door. And
Good
so you
idea.
can be ready.
Good idea. After what we've been talking about, yes, because that can be a little jarring. And we want a pleasant experience. Yeah.
There we
Yeah,
go.
so
Thank you.
perfect. Yeah, no. Okay, so I've taken out five, three, four, yeah. So we'll just do maybe 5 minutes. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So let's, yeah, no, you're welcome. And I'm going to share, we're going to begin with this beautiful Putuvai heart chakra. It's got morganite crystal. And morganite is kind of like a hug in a bowl. I always say it's that kind of comforting, supportive, very nurturing energy. So you may want to softly close your eyes just to eliminate external distractions, and just drop into your breath. So the inhale, and you may find it easier to place one hand on the heart and one on your lower abdomen, the belly. Just observe the natural inhale, expanding the chest, opening pathway of energy. And then on the exhale, just dropping down into the lower belly. Just take 3 natural breaths together. Just setting your own intention or sacred desire to receive healing or alignment or relaxation, whatever that is for you. Just putting a word to the feeling and emotion right now, so that the crystal bowls can support that, strengthen that, and amplify that. So we'll begin at the heart chakra. Just continue to align your breath with a natural rhythm. Breathing in this sound, whether you can hear it or not, it's still playing. There's a resonance and vibration moving from me through the computer to you. And sometimes in your mind's eye, you may visualize or imagine a sound or color or light. And that might be green, pink, or something else. So just continuing to bring your attention into the heart, the chest, this bridge in the chakra system that aligns with our emotional intelligence, our feelings. And let's clear and cleanse with the sound vibration any lower energies that are feeling heavy or dense, maybe contracted or tight. And inviting in a higher energy of love, joy, compassion, forgiveness, and healing. Continuing to hear and imagine those sounds as I introduce a higher vibration. So as we ascend, bringing your awareness now up to the mind, the forehead, the eyes, the temple, this pituitary gland. But here our thoughts manifest. And I'm playing this lepidolite crystal bowl that I showed. So the energy and sound vibrates a little faster as we reorganize our thoughts here. They're scattered, distracted, breathing into more of a presence and an awareness of being here together, of a calmer, more focused awareness, allowing the mind to come into the present moment, allowing us to activate and access your own inner wisdom, your own guidance. So bringing the alignment here, playing one more bowl. We'll continue to ascend in this short meditation as I play a higher vibration. So bringing your awareness now from the forehead, the eyes up to the top of the head. You do this with your imagination, your intention. And this vanilla crystal bowl vibrates to a high B on a musical scale. So it's opening and aligning this crystalline gland, the pineal gland, that opens up to light, sunlight, daylight, and higher expressions of hope. We're activating here with this beautiful crystal bowl higher vibrations of light and energy moving through the top of the head. So see this expanding as a pathway of light, that you are connecting with the higher energies of the unified field. That is maybe a white light, a golden light, purple, whatever comes into your mind's eye, allowing you to feel lighter, more expanded, and bringing now this energy and sound from the top of the head down into the body. So we'll do this with some lower vibrations. You can also do this with intention and your breath, dropping down into the body. We want to ground this into the present moment. And this ruby bowl does this beautifully, dropping down now into the belly, the lower part of the abdomen, and sending this energy down into the feet to ground. So trusting that even if you couldn't hear it, you're feeling your body is responding to the vibrations and the shared experience. So just begin to perhaps rub the hands together or wriggle the feet. It's very important to drink water. So the more hydrated the physical body is, yeah, I'll have a little with us all, but the more, I've learned the hard way, but the more hydration, water holds memory and sound. So there's a lot of work done with Dr. Masaru Emoto, right? So the more hydrated, and you can feel the longer the bowls are playing. I've experienced it too, dehydration. So we want to hydrate, ideally without kind of caffeinated drinks, for half an hour or so after listening. Yeah, so that'll continue to integrate the sound moving through us. So that's just a short experience, Al. Yeah, it's not quite the same, but I've had a lot professionally recorded, and I'll share a couple of MP3s with you, and then you can share them with your community.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
I thank you for that so much, that generosity. So you all will be getting a link from me that you'll be able to listen to, one that's outside of the computer, what we just did, but you could see, you can just imagine how amazing that felt. And then to have it a little bit of a truer vibration. I found that when I do this kind of work, I tear up. It's like stuff is leaving my body, right? That it can't hold that vibration any longer. And so I think that's fabulous. And then I'll be subscribing, because I didn't know you had a subscription where people can get the sounds on a regular basis. So how do I do that? Because we were chatting
Yeah.
earlier.
I know. Well, that's the blessing of COVID, because I couldn't go out to teach. So I set up an inner circle community. Just go to my website. Yep,
Okay.
emmakupumitchell.com. And right on the top homepage, it'll say inner circle. And it's just $22 a month. And I align them, Al, with the new moon and the full moon, because lunar rhythms, nature teaches us the natural cycles and vibrations, really. So that's when I offer them. Yeah, and everything's recorded if you can't be live. So yeah, it'd be an honor to have you or anyone else who resonates. Yeah, there's a I resonate, and I'm blessed that it's a self-healing tool as well. Like, your
Mhm.
work, it's so powerful and needed at this time. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so I'll put all those details in the video and in the email and everything, so you all don't have to worry about trying to figure out the name or how to spell it or any of that good stuff. But so this was perfect for me. My intention was for on healing my shoulder, a shoulder injury a while ago, and I'm in PT, and it's working, but it's a really slow process. And I've put everything that I know into it, and this is something now that is a bonus, that will help. So that was something I didn't think about was going to happen. So yay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you. Yeah, the body responds, and it's a good thing to bring up, because it's like post-it notes. If we've had an injury, we kind of have forgotten because we live with it, but the bowls can bring up the awareness in the body through tingling or heat, or a little kind of hello, a little jarring hello, a reminder. But it will move. Yeah, it's another tool to move through and just support everything else that you're doing, right? Yeah.
I love that. Well, I hope you all learned a lot and are now fascinated. Also put the books, if you'll send me the couple of reading books that you would recommend as well. And this is what I found is, in this busy world, and we're so distracted with so many different things, let's distract ourselves with things that heal us, that make us happy and healthy, and right, get away from television and get away from going to Costco when it's the most crowded, or whatever. Let's spend our time doing this type of stuff, and from changing ourselves, then vibrationally changing the planet. So thank you again. And this time it won't be so long before we chat again, my dear. And I'd
I
like to
know.
come out for a physical visit too. That'd be awesome.
Likewise, and
Okay.
tea. Always up for tea. Thank you
Yes.
so
Yes.
much.
Okay. All right. Chat again soon. Aloha all.
Definitely.